Hello everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, we will see what is the difference between job and a position in Oracle Fusion HCM. So you will notice when you will use Oracle Fusion HCM, you will notice two terms being used attached with the employee. One is called job and one is called position. So currently I've opened the record for an employee called Salman Al Sabir. You will notice in his employment details, there is one thing called job and there is one thing called position. His job is manager and his position is protocols department manager. So what is the difference between these two? So to make it simple, job is very high level that categorize different kind of positions. So for example, we can say job is a manager and actual position is protocol department manager. We can have procurement manager, we can have IT managers. So all these different kind of managerial positions, we can club them and and make them as a job. So job is kind of high level and position is the detailed instance of this job. So I have opened, for example, and there are different type of controls we can do at job level and position level. Job is high level, position is detailed level. Okay, so I have opened job screen in Oracle Fusion HCM, that definition screen of the job, and I have opened also the position definition screen. So what is the difference between these two? I have made a chart for this definition. For job and position, a job, a generic role with an organization describing responsibilities and required skills. However, position, a specific instance of a job with an organization with details like department, location, and reporting relationship. You will notice that job is very high level. It is not linked with the department, with the location, but position is actual instance of the job which is linked with the department and location. For example, let me open this job. You have a manager job. Here you are seeing it's not assigned to any department or location. It's just like a basic details, its status, its its code, it's a full time, it's job family, and you can assign valid grade for this job. Okay, but you don't have department and location or business unit information attached with the manager. But when we'll come to positions, you will notice that first it has to have a job in order to assign this position. So I'm opening this position called payroll manager position. You will notice this is attached with the job. So you should have a job first in order to assign a position. So it has a job and it has more detailed information like which department, which location, which business unit, right? So all this information is missing in the job level. So you'll notice that position is very detailed one and you have actual control of exact location and exact department, which is the position. On job level, you don't know which location or which department will use this job. Okay. So let's go back to our sheet. The scope, job, broad and can be shared across different business units. It's very broad and you can share it across different business units. But position, specific to specific tied to a department location. I mentioned already before that position is must be attached to a business unit. But job is a very broad one. You can attach to different business units. Flexibility. Jobs are standardized and not tied to specific headcounts. Position are more rigid, tied to headcount planning and track vacant and filled statuses. You will notice that you have FTE at position level. You don't have FTE at, at jobs level. So you can control how many headcounts will fill this position. For example, you want to open a position for only one employee and you should not have two employee on this position. You can do this through the position, but in jobs this feature is not available. So you can control headcount and different kind of statuses at position level, not at job level. Example, as I mentioned, manager is an example for the job, but payroll manager, IT manager, HR manager, finance manager are kind of exact positions that will be attached with the job. Relation to employees, assigned indirectly when employee is given a position. Employees are directly assigned to position. So either when you are assigning the employee, you will just select the position and job will be populated automatically, that will be inherited from the position, the job that is attached to the position. And based on your configuration, you can either allow job to be overridden at the employment level for employee, that for example he has this position and he is allowed to change the job or no. So you can change the job if your configuration allows for your implementation that you can have a different job, but it by default it will inherit the job from the position. Okay. Headcount control, no control over headcount. You can, however, in position, you can track headcount limits, vacancies, and occupancy status. As I mentioned, headcount control is only possible at the position level. In job, you cannot control this. This is best for organizations with fluid job structure where employees have flexibility in their roles. But position, organization with strict workforce planning, budgeting, and predefined roles. So if you have a strict workforce planning, budgeting, predefined roles, then you have to use positions, and usage of position is must. But you have a small organization where you don't have strict workforce planning and budgeting, and you have like few employees, then you can use only job. Optional. Jobs are not optional. You must use jobs in your implementation, but positions are optional. If you want, you can use position uh, for your implementation or not. It depends on your requirement. If you want to do all these activities specific to position, you can use position, but you can have your implementation live without the position. But without job, you cannot have your implementation live. You have to use jobs. So this is the difference between job and position. Similarly, there are different kind of rules you can set at job level and position level. For example, uh, when we if you are defining the payroll costing, you want all managers to be costed, for example, into one account. Okay, so if you are using jobs, that is very helpful. Like you do, if you have had to do it position through position, you would have to do it on different 50 positions, different managerial positions, right? For example, payroll manager, IT manager, different kind of manager. If you have different kind of 50 managers, so instead of doing for all positions, what you can do, you can do this activity at manager level. So this is where the job is helpful. So I hope this gives you clarity what is the difference between job and position. I'll see you in the next lecture.